Grand day, gems and jewels, gods and goddesses. What a wonderful day to be on the planet, honey. I am your host, Corinthia Peoples, and this is Power in My Pivot. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast where we discuss how ordinary people, such as you and I, become extraordinary in our own right through the power of pivoting, turning and changing and moving our lives from the prescribed direction of mass societal roles and conditions. This is a show for men and women, kings and queens, dukes and duchesses, and just everyday people. The time has come, honey, for us to control the narrative and to set the stage by leading through example. On today's edition of Power in My Pivot, we will have a discussion about the impact as well as the glory of being a woman in a men's dominated industry with Kathy Jackson in honor of Women's History Month, the Divine Feminine. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. Power in My Pivot is a discussion where we unpack details of our transformation, of our pivot, whether that be voluntary, circumstantial, or just our sheer survival. It's a talk of our soul journey and the evolution of us who we have become today. Welcome all to the room. Welcome. So I want to remind you that this is an inter-participatory dialogue. So feel free to drop comments inside of the comment stream, ask questions, and let's pivot. And please, at this time, if you have not already, if you can please like, give us a thumbs up or a heart sign. If you're on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the page and hit the notification bell so you can get all of the latest, so you will be in the know. And for those who've already done so, thank you so much. So, this edition again of Power in My Pivot, we are honoring the divine feminine for Women's History Month. We decided to do something extra special for you, to bring in women who have chosen to work and to use a chunk of their lives in the industry of whereas men dominated industry. They have breaking the mold. This guest, our special guest that we will have today, is Miss Kathy Jackson. Miss Kathy was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. She is the mother of 3 bright and spirited adult children and the grandmother to 4 beautiful grandchildren. She has an associate's degree in construction, specializing in electrical. She has also held jobs, honey, from retail sales to being a nail technician, and also as an administrative assistant for the Department of Energy. In 1993, Miss Kathy accepted the challenge and the feat of a 4-year electrical apprenticeship program. She was the first woman to graduate as a certified electrician. Miss Kathy is currently a union member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers as a journeyman and wireman, which is one of the highest ranking unions in the United States. Miss Kathy is the first and only Black female electrical contractor in the state of Nevada, honey. She is now launching Miss Kathy Electric LLC, where she will be an independent electrical contractor for hire. Welcome our guest, Miss Kathy Jackson.
Hey!
Hi,
Hello there, Corinthia.
how are you?
Girl, I am great. I'm excited and I am great. I am.
Yes, I am excited too. I hope I did you justice in that bio, honey, because you are
Girl,
a powerhouse.
you worked on it. You did good. Hey, I was proud of me.
It's interesting when you doing your own work, you don't really see how fabulous you are,
All right. Mm-hmm.
right? Because
You
we
tell
like
well,
you know.
until them lights come on, then you know you bad, girl.
Let them electrician lights come on. Then you be like,
When you hit that switch and them lights come on and you see those people smiling, you know you bad.
yes, and you are bad, Miss Kathy. We just don't see women like you. It's rare. It's rare for a woman who can get a drill, a power saw, a tool, bring down that ceiling fan, honey, in 45 minutes and wire up some stuff.
Yes, but it's great when you know what, it's great when you love what you do. Yeah, it's amazing. And I when I worked at the DOE and a lady walked, I had a the IBM typewriters, it was
yes.
broken. A lady, she walked in, a full figure Black woman with a suit on and a briefcase, and she opened this briefcase and pulled out a tool and she fixed my typewriter, and I'm like, oh my God. Just that.
That changed your perspective of what
I seen her work with that screwdriver, and I'm like, oh my God, in a dress. Yes. So I knew I could light up some people's lives.
I heard that. So that's where you got your epiphany, from this woman when you were as administrative assistant.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was working. What I did was I interviewed people for their clearances. So when our computers broke down, she walked in and I seen it, and I'm like, wow. And all the tradesmen that I interviewed for their clearances, it was like plumbers, electricians, and everything. And I looked at the electricians, and they was like very highly paid, and it was a white man's trade. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something that everybody can't do. Girl,
so then what gave you the confidence? Because see, that's what it takes, right? We have the whole world at the palm of our hands, but it takes believing that we can do a thing. So what made you feel that you could do electrician work, that you could do that work?
Girl, when I was sitting there one day, I seen two old men. One climb a ladder and one put a light bulb in. And I said, why can't I do that? Now, Corinthia, I didn't know that I was going to be sitting on some trash, eating my lunch, and climbing up some ladders. But I didn't know what it entailed. But I knew that I could put a light bulb in. But once I got in it, and I knew I could work good with my hands, and I seen not just the lights, but what's behind the walls, I said, you know what? This girl gonna be bad. I'm gonna do this. I can do this. So now today, girl, I can build a house from ground up. Do you hear what I just said? Ground up.
God, honey, well, we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to talk later because, there's some projects that I got all in my brain that we're going to have to talk about. But I am so intrigued. Okay, so you just said, not only did I see the light bulb, but I saw what was behind the wall. So did that spark your intellect? So the way to get to you, are you intellectual? Does intellect fuel you, make you excited? Because you said I saw what was behind the wall.
Yes, it does. It's like when I see something or I vision something, it's like my mind started triggering, and I said I could do this. How can I make this work? I mean, I can do that, and I just see it, and or I could read it, and I'm like, I can do this, and my mind was set, because everybody back in the day then was like, just be a girl. You know, the job was to be that secretary. Boom, 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 and I couldn't sit still. Girl, I love the outdoors. I'm not going to tell you that I was used to the language and the abuse of the men. I wasn't used to that, but I knew that in that field that was something that everybody couldn't do, and I knew that it was going to be like 2,500 people applying for that position, and I knew for some reason that Kathy Jackson could get that job, and I went for it. I went for it, girl. I went for it.
Yes, you did. So, Miss Kathy, tell me, what is it like? What was it like? And no, you're still working in your field. So, what is it like to be the only woman in a sea of men standing alongside of them, not in front of them or behind them, but alongside of them? What is that like?
Well, you know what? It's many of us coming out there now. It's a lot of women coming out there. But at first, it's like, I don't know. I came from, I don't know. I think I was raised in a different way to think that if it's something out there that I can get it. So if they gave me a piece of paper and it said that I needed 60 hours in and maybe conduit bending or 60 hours in troubleshooting, I figured that I'm supposed to have 60 hours in there. So when they told me like, oh no, I need you to do the trash, or I need you to, come out and do this, my mind was like, oh no, 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 no. I'm not being funny, but I'm like, no, 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 I can't do this. They told me on this piece of paper that I need to do this. So I wasn't like, it seemed like I was demanding, or I don't know if they say like, I don't know how it is, but I just knew that on that paper that it said that was open to me, that I knew that I was able to get it. So I pushed for it. I
Okay.
pushed for everything. I had, girl, I remember I had this one, it was this one big guy. And you're nervous because when you work and everybody is watching you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because you were a
trying to
woman.
do that. Pardon me?
Because you were a woman, and back when you
Exactly.
started,
They're
you were
watching
the
you.
only
They're
one.
watching you so you can make that mistakes. But I had to learn that everybody makes mistakes. The only difference is when we make our mistakes, they're right there. They're right there to try to correct us. We don't get a chance to correct our own mistakes. They there to make a joke about it or laugh at it so they can say that we cannot do this job. But see, and it's been times that like I snapped or hurt my finger and I went into the corner and went like, I wouldn't yell or cry because, I didn't want them to see that I was like weak or whatever. But I learned, it finally hit me that they make mistakes and I make mistakes. So when I was doing something and they sitting in the corner and they'll get like 5 or 6 guys, they'll get in a group and they'll sit back and yes, I made a mistake, and they'll laugh. So one day, Corinthia, I got tired. I got down off my ladder and I walked over big old dude to a big one. And I said, I don't get it. I just want to understand one thing. You got 300 pounds on me. You got your whole posse here with you. Why are you so scared of me? Why y'all got to get in a whole entire group to look at me and laugh at me? And they looking at me like, this little young girl saying all this stuff, and she by herself. I said, it'll take me 30 minutes to get my posse here. So why are you so scared of me? And they just looked there and with their mouth open. And finally, I told them, I said, I'm going to tell you something that y'all going to have to understand. I said, no matter how you put it, no matter how you twist it around, back in the day, I think we was making like $30 or something an hour. You make $30 an hour, I make $30 an hour. Deal with it. And I just pushed. I wanted it so bad, and I wanted to. I didn't want to just be an electrician and say I'm an electrician and I could throw this wire over here. I wanted to know why that wire was a circuit. I wanted to know why it worked. And I pushed everything in my mind to push these people to teach me on how to do this job. And I mean, And
Was
after a
it
while,
easy?
when they look at you, they, I don't know, they'll learn to respect you because you came there to do your job. So,
Was it easy when you seeked help? Did they help you?
oh girl, no. I couldn't get a girl. No, I couldn't get an apprentice. I had to carry a 12-foot ladder. I had to climb it and work with 2-inch pipe. No, it wasn't. But you know what? We don't cry. You just figure it out. I remember my brother. He told me when my brother is I have 5 brothers, and my brother, he's a tradesman. He was a plumber, and he's black, and he was in the construction world, and at that time it wasn't good for us. But he told me that they had a really nasty job. He gave me this story so he could know how, so I can impact it with my life. He said they had a job to do, and it was really, the area they work in was very, very nasty. So they said, let's give
Meaning
it to,
they, meaning black men, or just plumbers, all
no, no, no.
colors.
And this trade, these was white men, and my brother was the only black man on the crew.
Got it.
And he was telling, and he said that they gave the job to him because it was dirty and nasty. But what he did, he seen the job. He said, "You don't turn it down." He looked all around, and he seen some plastic. Corinthia, he took the plastic and he laid it over the area that was nasty, and he sat down there and did his job. So he made them look stupid because he was smart, because he didn't work in filth. He found a way to get around it. So that's what I did. Every time I did something, I found a way to get around it, to make it, work for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do you coin that for being a woman and having just a, how we're women and men are quick-witted, right? I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
equate like a woman's brain is bigger than a man's brain. I won't say that at all. But what I will say is that a woman do think in a different kind of way because we're wired differently. Do you think because you were a woman, it got you through some of the tough times to think yourself out of it? What was it, the thinking that got you out of um the tough times? Or
Yeah,
was it
I think I think it was. Yes, because like you say, like I think we work well with our hands. I think like you said, our mind go. I mean, I have a very quick response. Women are like that. We do. Once we get it in our mind that this could be done, we gonna make it work. So you block some of that things out, and you think like, okay, like you said, we snap,
yeah.
girl. You
So
know,
then I have to ask you this. Did you ever equate, like, how we cooking in the kitchen?
uh huh.
Or because you got 3 kids, so you had to think some quick thoughts, even raising kids. Did you ever apply anything that was of a woman's duty to your work doing a man's job? Did you ever say, well, shoot, I cook like that, or I raised, one of my kids to do? Did you ever equate, like, as a woman when you was doing a job? Did you
You know
ever
what?
figure
Yes,
out to do
it
that?
was mostly came from my mother though, because my mother raised 9 kids by herself, and if my mother could raise 9 kids by herself, like I said, and I mean, she raised boys to men, she made women, I mean, girls to women. That it's not nothing that I cannot do. She taught me that if it's there for you, you can reach for it. I mean, she gave me the strength to go up, and yes, Corinthia, yes. It's like we have. I don't know if we have that inner. You know how we get that extra inner energy in us when things
Hmm.
not going right, and all of a sudden we get that strength to it's like I said, I have a pipe there and it's not going in the right position, and I know everybody's watching me, and I'm saying to myself, girl, you're gonna get this pipe through,
Right.
and we get, for somehow you find that strength and it goes, and you know what? And that audience don't want to do it, but they back there clapping you in, and that strength, like I said, that comes from my mother. I believe I always said, if my mother could do what she did with 9 kids, it ain't no battle that I cannot do. You know,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Did you ever use your feminine power in the workspace? Did you ever be like, play the damsel in distress, like, even though, you was You can run electrical wire and change out things, but did you ever use your feminine power in the workplace?
You know what? I think the only time I use it, I was working. I was doing the what was the big project we was doing? City Center, and it was a messy job. It was all messed up. Everybody was hiring their friends, and for some reason, I don't know if it's a trial or whatever, they came to me and they wanted me to take over the job, be the foreman. And I'm like, no, these guys ain't finna walk over me. And then they kept asking me, and it was one. They was gonna get rid of my whole crew. It was one lady. She was a traveler. That means she didn't work in my jurisdiction of the union, and they was gonna get rid of her. And I just tried this just to see, because it worked for me and see if it worked for me. And I said that I said, I'll take the job. If she can stay with me, I'll take the job. And they let her stay. But what happened was these guys couldn't believe that they came up to me and they said, who are you? I'm got the same hat they got on. They said, are you you IBW? I go, yes.
And what's IBW? What does that stand for?
IBEW, that's International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. That's electrician. So that's like being an electrician is really a white man's trade, and so it's a high, like I said, it's highly recognized union in the state of Nevada. That's a really one. So, and he said, well, are you a foreman? And I go, yeah, but he was acting like that he couldn't believe that me as a woman, as a black woman, for sure can be a foreman. So, girl, the next day, because the foreman don't work. All I got to do is point my finger and tell you what to do. The next day, I put on the prettiest earrings. I put on my good jeans, and I walked in there, and everything. And I didn't say, you want to know who I am? Okay, I'm the foreman. I pointed my finger. I did. And you know what? It was a great feeling, because they thinking that we cannot do this job, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. And I walked around there. I was beautiful. I was clean, but I talk. I carry the prints. I read them. I walked in a meeting. Everybody's mouth was like,
What made you do that? What made you come back and put on your prettiest earrings and what made you do that?
Because number one, they think every woman in the trade is gay.
Butch.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of a better good word, right? Number one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then they thinking that, okay, how no woman cannot take off. I mean, I was over the whole floor area of the city center. Now, no woman cannot do that job. And then they question. Now I know I'm brown skinned. Then I'm black too. So I'm like, okay, we want to play this game. Let's do this. So I come in there real black, real beautiful, extra makeup, just to do it. My good jeans, because we had to wear jeans and everything. And I walked the floor. And I walked the floor.
Head up.
And
a little staff.
Yes, remember like when FloJo, she ran track and she was like beautiful?
Yes.
So we let them know that exactly what it is that I'm all woman. I am all woman, and I can work alongside of you, and I can do this job.
Wow. Yes. I love it.
Yes. And my paycheck, that's right. And I'm running things right now. That's right. So, I wanted to let them know.
Yes. So let me ask you this. How often did you have to stuff your sexuality as a woman? You know how sometimes we want to just be girl, and it's not even contrived. It's something that just comes up in us, right? Whether how we cross our legs or how we talk or, especially with all the men, honey. I know. See, I don't know if I could have did it, Miss Kathy. I might have had been go on dates. I don't know. So I got to ask you about that piece too.
Well, look, I was all girl. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had white men, I had black men, I had white women try to talk to me or whatever. But you know what? Like I said, electrician is my occupation. I am a woman. I still like my doors open for me. I still demand respect. I don't. Um, I'll tell them in a minute. I'm not listening to all the cussing and everything, all the and that we do in construction or whatever. Um, they they flirt and they say things, and I have comebacks. I said things like, what, I look at my body every day, every morning, every night. I know exactly how I look. Try a new line. I work with them. They probably thought that was hard, but they knew I was a woman. I My main thing was, sometimes you don't, I needed to feed my kids, and I needed to keep my job, so I made it a point not to date. I didn't date electricians. I didn't want to date on the job. But like I said, we talked. I mean, we smiled. I was all girl. I didn't change who I was. I
Okay.
really did. I talked about the things that I did. We talked about everything. We get more comfortable. They even, we're working with men, Corinthians. If we have an accident at work, they have to be the one to tell us to go to the bathroom. We're working with, we learn. You learn these things. You have conversations. They have wives, and they talked about this and that. It's a lot of conversations that we have that you might not have with a lot of guys that I do. That's about everything. It's open. We sleep. We fall asleep. We're tired. We fall asleep in the same work area on some sheetrock. We might touch each other or whatever, but it's how you carry yourself. Things do happen on the job site, but if you carry yourself like who you are, like I know who I was, and I didn't want to be like them. I just wanted to work alongside them to do the job. You know.
So basically, what you're saying is that you kept things professional.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You was yourself. You maintained who Kathy Jackson was
Mm-hmm.
from your core, but you kept it professional.
Right. But we, like I said, but we laughed and we made jokes and we did everything, but nothing never got out of line where like you said, we think fast, we push it, I push it back, we keep it straight. If someone's attracted to you, hell, it been somebody out there I've been attracted to. I'm like, whoa, but you know what I'm saying? You just, girl, you
Right.
just keep that work on, and we laugh and we make. We have jokes and we have good times. But like I said, when they learn who you are, it's a, well, some of them you can't change. It's just a different story. You just have to, like I said, like men that came from back in the day that they might call me Gail or say some awful things or whatever, but they didn't know no better. That's how they was raised. So I let certain things like that didn't bother me. My main thing was to get this knowledge that was out there. So now when every time I walk on the job and they say, "Is any women coming?" They say, "Kathy Jackson coming." They say, "Oh wow, man, she bad." That was my goal, and that's how I worked it. And
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. So I guess just as it was an adjustment for you as a woman, I guess this had to be an adjustment for the men too.
yeah,
The women
exactly.
come into this space, right?
Isn't
Because
that
we were the other day, my family and I, my cousin got these cards called Black Card Revoke. Like you can buy them, they're on Amazon. It's called Black Card. And I was like, what is this game? And my cousin was like, it's like, you got to know the trivia to
right?
Black history, like even to Black idiosyncrasies or to Black dialogue, right? So one of the questions, and it was me, my aunt, and my cousin, and my mom, and she
Uh-huh.
said, one of the questions was, what is what is the next thing worse than a sinner?
Then a what?
Than a sinner, Sinner.
A sinner. Uh
Sinner.
huh.
Yes. And it had multiple choice. And one of the multiple choice was it was like worshiping the devil, a man who doesn't take care of his family, da da da. There was four multiple choice. My aunt says a man that doesn't take care of his family. I said something else. And the right answer was a man that doesn't take
Doesn't
care of
take care
his
of his family.
family. What's the next to a sinner? Honey, And my aunt was like, yeah, a man to take care of his
Yeah.
family is just it ain't nothing, right?
Yeah. A poor
So I
excuse for
said,
me. Mhm.
there you go, a poor excuse for a man.
Right.
So I guess it had to be a little hard for them to see you coming into space that's for the men, but then you're a woman who got to take on a men's role and a woman's role because you got to take care of your 3 kids and make
Right.
money.
And you know what? And I was confronted with that. And you know what? And they did feel that. And it took me a while to understand that. You're right. And they said that they didn't mind being, and one guy told me he didn't mind me being out there. But like he said, what it was that he said, but you're taking food out of another man's family. And
Hmm.
I had to explain, and I understand what he was saying. And a lot of black men, they feel that the white man is using us to take their role away. We're taking their jobs too.
Oh, the
But
black men feel like the white men are using the black
the black
women
woman, yes,
to take the black man's role.
exactly. But and I guess I could see that I see the black man point or whatever too, and everything. But I told him that I would love to put my head on somebody's shoulders and close my eyes and know that the world would move. But sometimes we are thrown in positions that we can't do nothing but we can't do nothing but but take
Take the
charge.
wheel. Take the
But
wheel.
but but I didn't get in this I didn't get to know this trade just to be better than a man or to be equal to him. That's not. I got into this trade because I like the Charlie Angels. I got into trades because I like the tough women. You know, I felt that I can do the job. But Corinthia, you wouldn't believe, and I'm sure they would honestly say how many men out there that I have helped. I had men out there. A lot of men they're in the trade. They been on drugs or been to whatever. They handshaking. I've got on my knees. I said, I got it. I'll do it for you. You don't know how many of them that I have lent money to. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. Like people say that I might take men's side, but I don't that neither. It's just that just like I wasn't dealing. I didn't just say, hey, I want to be alone and take care of my kids. I wasn't just dealing him, but why shouldn't I be able if I can go out there and do the job? Now, it's different if a woman go out there and she go there and say, can you carry my ladder? Can you do that? It's not fair. It's not fair. And that's not what I'm not getting into the trade, so you don't have to open the door for me to say that, oh man, I can do this or do that. No, I got into it because I really liked it. And I did. I wanted to make that money so I can feed my kids and have a good life, but I wouldn't have thought about I thought about getting into it before, and I didn't because I was married. So maybe that, I was married and said, just just do this and do this. But I still was the woman I was. But the time that I was getting a divorce, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying that I did it to get equal or whatever, but it was something that I always wanted to do. But I didn't do it because it wasn't fit for a woman. But I felt that when I got in this trade, I didn't get in it to, like you said, to take away from no man. I just wanted to do the work.
So what, you was always wanting to do what? You was always wanting to know how to fix things and build things?
Yeah, you know what? When you could say I was a tomboy or whatever, but like I said, but I did cheerleaders. I was like homecoming queens and everything too. But when I learned how to drive when I was 16, I don't know what happened when you learned how to drive when you were 16. Girl, I learned how to change.
I learned how to drive when I was 12.
Did you know how to change a tire? Did you know how to change?
I learned how to change a tire at 19.
Huh?
At 19, I learned how to change.
When I was taught to my sister, I don't know why they wasn't taught that to drive my car. I was taught that I had to learn how to change the oil, the tire, and everything that goes along to it to drive that car. And you know what? I liked that. I
get that. When I learned how to change a tire, my boyfriend at the time showed me how to do it. And I was very intrigued. I was down to learn.
Down
to learn because for him, it was like, I am making you independent. So if
Right.
if you ever in a situation, you don't ever get caught out. You'll know how to do something for yourself.
Exactly. And you know what? And I had 5 brothers, and that's how I was taught. He said, when someone come to your house and they're gonna work on something, your wash machine or whatever, you make sure one thing, Corinthia, as women, we need to make sure that we have on clothes. Number one, proper clothing. And we sit there and we watch them because we could we watch them, we let them know. I had one guy. He had to go on my roof one time, but I had been in the trade. He to fix something, and he was going to inspect it, and he got on the ladder and he started walking up, and I started walking up there with him. He said, "Oh, you coming up here with me?" I go, "Yeah." He said, "No, men don't even come up here." I said, "No, I'm finna come up here to see what you finna do." I said, "You're not finna mess my house up, and everything." And he was like, just overjoyed that this woman gonna come up here for real and watch to make sure, like he takes the part, do the right thing. Yeah, I wanted to make sure because that's how I was raised. I go get my car fixed. I want the part. I want to know what's going on. But I guess that's just who I am. But Corinthia, don't take nothing away. I mean, I'm God's child. I know how to treat a man. I know how to cook. I I just feel that if the garbage full, I just take the garbage out. I have to say, babe, come take the garbage out. I just take it out. It doesn't mean that that I'm stronger than him or he's weaker than me or nothing like. It's I always think that it was like a matter of being teamwork. If I knew how to do it, why couldn't I do it?
Right. So that leads me to my next question, actually. How was it dating? So you said that you were divorced. So
Hmm.
how was it dating when you meet someone new and you tell them that you're an electrician? How was it dating? Is that intimidating for the men? Has that been a problem with dating or what?
Yeah, it's been a big problem. Yeah, it's intimidating to me because as I work with the men, I found out a lot of men they date with their pocketbooks.
They
You know,
what?
they date with their pocketbooks. They date with their
Yes,
money. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
They date with their pocketbooks. So,
yes.
women and women are smart because women, they believe me, they know what you might not know. They know what IBEW mean. You know what I'm saying? So they date with their pocketbook. So they like, okay, this woman, okay, she got her own. She makes the same money. I can't impress her with that. So what can I do? And people could say like, okay, I'm intimidating or whatever, but I don't know. I try to explain it to them that so what would you rather have? Would you rather have this weak woman that when you say, "Ooh, I can't I don't know how we're gonna pay the bills this month," and she just sit under you and cry, "Baby, I don't know how we gonna pay these bills," or would you like that woman say, I got it this month, I got it," you know? And
Yeah, yeah.
you know, one man he said, "Don't change." He said, "You just find you a stronger man." That's it. So like I said, I'm not here to I would date a man if he worked at 7-Eleven. To me, if I have a dollar, if I have $10 and he have a dollar, we still have 11. It's togetherness. But you have to know that you're God's son and you're a man, whether you got a dime or a nickel in your pocket. That's not my job to make that decision for you. And
Mm.
I shouldn't have to change or belittle. I shouldn't have to belittle myself at work to make a man feel good. And I sure in the hell should not have to belittle myself at home to make a man feel good. He should know that he's a man. He should know that.
You have said a mouthful.
You
You
know.
have said a mouthful. So do you feel that men are built that strong in these days and times?
You know what? Some of them are you could say I think a lot of them are weak. They're used to but then again maybe in some situation women like that. Women like to be in control. Some women like to be in control, and men like that. So they're are you can say they're kept men. So they take care of them, and it's like a mother figure. But I find that I run into the men that. I don't know that I have meeting lately. I think they get excited when they find out that I'm an electrician. you know. And it, I mean, not when they first look at me, because I look like me. This is I look, and I had one guy say, "You can't be an electrician. You don't look like an electrician." And he
Right.
got me good. And I said, "Well, what do an electrician look like?" I'm thinking, like I gotta be, butch or whatever. He said, "Well, all white man with a long white beard, or something
That's what
like
he
that."
said.
He did, and that was so good, because that is exactly what electrician in the day, that it is what it is. It was an old white man with a long beard. But I had this one guy. He had broke we still cool. He broke his key off in his car, and I was trying to tell him how to get the key out. He said, "Kathy, girl, don't pacify me. Get over here, get this key out, get it out, get it out." So they are joyful too and everything. But yeah, it's hard, because one guy I've said, like, it's nothing I could do for you. But I tried to explain to them, Corinthia, that, what, um, I made it easy for you. I said, yeah, maybe I can put a roof over my head, and I probably can provide for myself and whatever. But I made it easy for you. All you have to do is love me. That's
Jim,
it.
drop.
And now, is that too much to ask for? All you have to do is love me. When the bottom line is, God made us individuals. He made me to be me. He made you to be you. We supposed to be helpmates. But I told him I made it easy for you. All I need a man to do for me is to love me.
Do you think the men, so there's a difference between a Southern man, a man from the East Coast, a man from the West Coast, in terms of values, in terms of resilience, in terms of how they treat a woman and how they were raised. Do you find that men know how to love, or which one would you say know how to love? Do you think men know how to love? And if so, what men are they? Are they East Coast men, West Coast men? I mean, because you know how there's different men with different values
Yeah.
across the board. Even how, just a quick little story, when I'm from the South.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in on the West Coast, but I lived on the East Coast
Uh-huh.
for many years. So I know the difference between a Southern man, a East Coast man, and a West Coast man. They are very different. Do you think men know how to love a goddess, a warrior woman? Because you are a warrior feminine, divine feminine. You are a warrior feminine. Anytime a woman, because there are some women that will not ever pick up a tool, put their hand in a hole to run some wire, baby. They would never, ever do it. But there are some women who are still feminine, like yourself. My aunt, she will get on a ladder in a minute at her house. You know what I'm saying? In a minute, but she will put on her lipstick, baby, and look fabulous and beautiful and have so much class. But there's still women that won't do it. So I feel like those women who don't mind getting on a ladder, figuring out some stuff is the epitome of the feminine warrior divine. I'm giving it the name. I called you a
Okay.
feminine warrior divine. Who can love her? Are they breeding men to love the feminine warrior divine?
You know what? A lot of people always say, like you said, men come from all the walks of life, East, West Coast, whatever. You know what?
Yeah.
I, I, I have ran into a different kind of men from each, and I think that it doesn't matter where they come from. I mean, you have city men that can cook. You have city men that can do. You have the people always say the down the country guys are so sweet or whatever, but you find out you can get one of them too. They can cheat too, but I just feel that it's like this. When you love somebody, you make room. That man might not treat you that way, but he might run into that woman. Like you could say about me, I could say I might not be someone's first choice, but I'm a good choice, and I'm sure they are too. And like like it's like when you love somebody, you make room. Men are no different from us. When they love somebody, they make room. Men could be honest. They could be trustworthy. I mean, they get their heart broken too. They go through the change and of life also. But when it's just I just tell them it's just like this. Like if a man see this red Cadillac and they want it, they're gonna find a way to get it. And
Yes.
if they see you and they want you, I don't know what ropes or hoops they whatever, they, they'll get to you.
Yeah.
So I had to tell myself that too. You know, sometimes we might say, well, dog, why he didn't choose me? Then maybe it wasn't the time, the place, or or whatever. But it didn't make that he wasn't a good guy. So
Right.
what I'm
It
saying is
just,
that when he's ready to love, like I said, he might not treat you that way, and he might run into me and treat me better. It's not that I'm a better woman or whatever. He's ready to love, and if he loved that woman or he want to get to know that woman, he gonna find a way to get to her. He's gonna find a way. And if he can't cook, he gonna know how to buy dinner. You know, if he can't fix
yes.
that, work on that hood, he gonna find a good mechanic.
There-
So I don't take them in general about where they came from or whatever. I mean, because like you said, they have different upbringing. Because I met a man before, and I asked him, I said, "Do you click or do you open the door?" He said, "Kathy, no woman never wanted me to open her door. And some women are like that. They don't want me to open their door. But if that's something that you want, I'll do it."
there you go. There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? So I can't say that wherever he came, he won't do this or he won't do that. I find that when you start talking to each other and together, when you decide to make different steps or whatever, it's like this, Corinthia. You can meet somebody and we both going the same. We're gonna be at the same destination. One of us gonna get there first, whether it be you or me. But when you get there first, you gotta ask yourself, is that person worth waiting for? And sometimes, just like me, I know how to leave like this, and I was good at it. And I told my girlfriend now, I don't want to leave no more. I want to find somebody where I want to say, I want to stay. You know, I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay. So
Yes.
I can't judge the man on where he been or whatever. But if I know that his quality is good and that, like you said, a woman might not didn't acquire those things that I want.
There
But
you
that
go.
don't mean that he, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't want me to open the door. I didn't open the door. It was cool. It wasn't bad or whatever. But I want that door open for me. So, and I have been with men like that. And people say, oh, God, look at him. He opened the door for her. I'm nothing special. It just was one of my qualities that I wanted that he did. Just like if he wanted me to fix it, if he wanted me to fix his place or bring his shoes, and I did it. It's not that he's special. It's that's one of the qualities that I wanted to do to make him happy, because that's what
Yes.
something that he
So,
desires.
so the gym drop is when you love, you make room. Miss
Exactly.
Kathy, you are launching Miss Kathy Electric LLC. And you have an acronym. I hear you have an acronym for women who you want to tell me about your business vision. We're running close on time.
Okay,
So tell me your business vision. I hear you want a women's crew
I do.
and you have an acronym. Please enlighten
Okay,
us.
so I in school, most of the time I was the only woman, so I had to build a generator. So I made mine pink, and I said P is for our personality, I is for our intelligence, N is for no nonsense, and K is for our knowledge to pull it all together. And that's it. That's what a woman is. Is that exactly what she is built of? And my dream for Miss Kathy's Electric, I don't want to be big because I could be. I wanted to help in the community. I wanted to help senior citizens. I wanted to give people the luxury and the nice things in their homes that other people get, and at affordable prices. And I've been to houses where men say, "Ooh, I'm so glad you here because I can leave you with my wife and I trust you." Or or when women come in, we take care of things. We're not working in a construction site. I specialize in homes. We're gonna work in your home. That means we got to take care of your stuff. We got you care. And when women, I don't know, we just have a glow or a sharpness about ourselves. And that's why I said we find a way. If it can't be done, we like, you know what? No, let me figure this out. Let me see what I can do or how I can do fix this to make this work.
Yes,
So
I love it.
yeah,
So pink, give us the acronym again for pink. P
pink.
for
P
pink.
is for your personality.
I.
I is for our intelligence. N, no nonsense. And K, the knowledge to pull it all together.
I love it. Miss Kathy, tell me, what musical instrument do you consider that can seduce you? What is your musical instrument of seduction? Is it the saxophone? Like when you
You know
hear,
what? I think it's the horn, girl. Yeah, it's the saxophone. I mean, girl, but you can turn on some blues and it got me. But it's that. It's the
so
sax.
your musical instrument of seduction is the
Yeah.
saxophone.
Yes.
Yes. What are your quickly oh, we're running out of time. I'm trying to bring you back, Miss Kathy. I'm gonna have to bring you back. This was so good. So we just talked about you are starting your Miss Kathy Electric LLC. You're starting your own business where you will be for hire. Your specialty is homes. Where and if people are in, if you're watching this and you're in Nevada, Las Vegas, the area of Nevada and Las Vegas specifically,
Uh-huh.
where can they reach you? Where can people reach you?
Well, my phone number is 702-807-6663. And my email is Miss Kathy's Electric, Miss Kathy's Electric at yahoomail.com.
Beautiful. Yes. You know what? This has been so rich. Thank you so much, Miss Kathy, for joining the show and sharing pieces of you with us. Can you hang backstage and I'm gonna tell you goodbye before you go, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you, Princess. I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Oh, richness. Honey, you just can't make this up. You just can't make this kind of stuff up. This is like so rich. And I feel so honored to know such a woman. You know, this is part one of three. We are bringing the feminine divine. Honey, Miss Kathy Jackson just opened up the feminine divine box because I have two other women that are going to blow your minds who are in men dominated industries. Yes. So the help tip, we don't just speak about the problem, but we render a solution. This week's health tip is to stand up for yourself and know that you are worthy in whatever you want to do. You can do it. Just make the first step and go for it. That's the health tip. What inspired me to do this edition of Power in My Pivot is to honor the divine feminine globally as a whole and to give rise to the woman who has broken the mold and lived life on the wings of a warrior feminine that can pick up them tools, baby, build a house, build a cabinet, build a bed, take down some stuff, honey, build a wall, what you want to do. The divine warrior feminine is what I am honoring on this month of March for Women's History Month. Power in My Pivot happens every single Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern. Kings and queens, let's pivot from basic to bona fide. And always remember that nobody is better than you, and you are no better than nobody. Said to me by a wise man, my grandfather. Until next time, there is power in your